What up, you guys? Slim here, Team Panda. Here with just, like an overall discussion. I was sent a really good idea yesterday, and it's from Like Bernie, and he basically is asking me why in this game, if you don't run cards like Warning, Pot of Duality, or, you don't run a generic deck, or you don't net deck, why don't you do that well at, like a YCS, regionals, nationals, like a big event? Like, you can skid by in a locals, but why can't you, do well at a larger event, like a big event. Basically, meaning why does originality not work in this game? And I'm going to go over that because this is a big, really big topic. I feel for this game. I feel that originality has really gone out the door in this game, and it's nobody's fault except Konami, of course. All this is Konami's fault. They make decks, they make broken cards like Tengu, and I mean, you're not going to see someone add just one random Tengu to a deck. You already know if you run Tengu, you run it in 3 because that's the best way to do it. And originality, like I said, has gone out the door. You're not gonna see a GK deck that runs one spy or runs one recruiter or runs one descendant. There's no room, unfortunately, for originality in this game, and I feel this is mainly um, because of Konami, and then it's also because it's also on it's like on the shoulders of players because unfortunately when it comes to being successful in this game, a lot of people go off of what they see on the internet, what they see, what's winning, and they take those ideas, they make them, they make their changes, they net deck, whatever. I've already made a video on net decking. I have no problem with net decking because I do it myself, and like I said, originality is really hard. There are very few players who are very original in this game. One of them is my really good friend Edmund Lamb, who I mentioned on one of my other videos. He's original in this game. He's one of the few people that's actually original in this game, and it's rare to see that in a player these days because a lot of people go with their own way. Also, my friend Wilson Sang, shout out to him, shout out to his channel 3Z Inferno. He's original when he came up with like his water Tengu synchro thing. That was unique. That hadn't been seen in me. Now, everyone's net decking it. It's no longer original, which kind of sucks. But to answer like the main question, people are asking like all the time, like, why can't I win? Like why can I, do well at a locals, but when it comes to, like a main event, why can't I win? Why can't I get the amount of wins that I normally get? And like you're asking me like, is it because of a certain card? Like, what exactly is going on? And you're telling me it's because, well, if I don't run, like a certain card, like if I don't run Solemn Warning, or I don't run, this, if I don't run Solemn Warning, I don't run Pot of Duality, like why aren't I gonna win? And I'll tell you guys, like straight up, like warnings are essential. I think they're more essential than Pot of Duality because they stop a summon or a special summon or an effect that special summons. That's so critical in this game. And you can use substitutes, you can use Bottomless, you can use regular Trap Hole, Compulse. The problem is none of those cards stop the summoning altogether. The monster is still successfully summoned to the field, and usually its effects of summoning still go off. So like if you're playing against a Monarch deck and they summon a Monarch and you don't have warning, you're gonna get hit by their effect regardless of the fact if the monster leaves the field. And unfortunately these days, there's no really close substitution to Solemn Warning. People are saying Black Horn of Heaven, yes, it negates a special summon, you don't have to pay, but your problem is you're not negating a normal summon. I use Warning for normal summons more than special summons because special summons I can handle through Royal Oppression, through other cards. The problem is when you can't stop the normal summon of like a samurai monster, you're going to lose, or you're going to take a major minus because when they go Kageki and then they activate Kageki to get Kagemusha, if you don't warning the Kageki and they have, Magatama in the back, you're going to pay 2,000 off warning and you're going to take, you're going to take a minus off that, and they're going to make Shein, and then you're basically screwed. That's why I think warning is essential to use to negate normal summons. So when people ask me, why aren't I doing that well at nationals? The problem is all the really good players who top and stuff regularly, they have warnings in their deck. If they run duality, they run them in 3s. If they have fossil dynas, they're in the side deck. All this stuff that counts right now, they're running in the max, and they're running the best cards out right now. People were running 3 Trishula because you can still run 3 Trishula right now. People are running 3 Trishula and looping them and making them crazy. People are running 3 Librarian, and it's the same thing. It's that in order to be successful at a big event, you have to play like other people play. Originality, unfortunately, can only take you so far. I'm not saying it will completely, you'll lose every game, but you're going to lose some games because your opponent's cards are superior to yours, and that, unfortunately, is the reality that a lot of players can't stomach. It's that Solemn Warning is better than Bottomless. Solemn Warning is better than Trapple. Solemn Warning is better than a lot of cards because it stops the monster summoning altogether, and that is key. So when it comes to that, that's why people run Solemn Warning. On the topic of Pot of Duality, in a month, everyone's going to have Pot of Duality. It won't even matter. Depending if it'll be at 2 or 1, whatever Konami decides to do this time. They fuck us over all the time, so I'm not going to be surprised by anything. But, people run Pot of Duality over cards like Upstart Goblin because you don't want to give your opponent 1,000 life points. Plus, you want options when you go to draw a card. I mean, I love the idea of going Duality and getting a warning, a Gravekeeper, and like a Valley or something if I haven't drawn Commandant. I love getting that warning, setting up my plays, letting my opponent know I got a Solemn Warning. Are you really going to try to push against me? It's cards like that are just essential. And if you're running, cards that you think can come close to the effect, unfortunately, you're wrong. I've tried that so many times. I've tried running Upstarts, and it just doesn't work in a deck like this. Like Fish are different. The Fish FTK I've showed people can run Upstart and all that successfully because Pot of Duality hinders the special summoning, which we do a lot of in that deck if people haven't watched my video. But it's rare that decks don't special summon that much. So that's why Pot of Duality is superior to Upstart Goblin and other substitutions that people are trying to do. So that's why people don't do that well at events. Plus, like when you get to the top tables, like when I've been at top tables, I've noticed, I've looked around and I've seen what everybody has. Everyone, like blings out their shit. Like they get the highest rarity this, highest rarity that, and they know what they're doing. Like they have their warnings, they have their dualities, they have their side deck all set up to stop whatever's in the top tables, and that's the difference between originality. Like you can be original and you can make I don't know, you can make like a Crystal Beast deck, or you can make something, and you might win round 1, round 2, but then you're just going to get smacked because other players' decks are superior, and I mean, that's the problem. I mean, when I've played plenty of Gravekeeper mirror matches, I've seen certain techs work better for other players than they do for me. One in particular is Magical Dimension. I lost in a mirror match to a really good player because, he knew the deck a lot better than I did, plus he knew how to use Magical Dimension to plus himself so many times, and, that's the difference. When it comes to originality, you can be original in certain things, but when it breaks down to it, a deck is still a deck. I mean, if you look at people's blogs and stuff and they talk about Gravekeepers, nothing's changed. Like, you're still going to see the same amount of stuff in a Gravekeeper deck always. Like, that never changes. Like, most Gravekeeper decks are only running 13 monsters now, and, they're so generic that, I mean, no one has to think about how to run a Gravekeeper's deck. Like, someone wants me to profile my Gravekeeper, so I probably will, I don't really expect to get a lot of views on that video. I know a lot of people want to see it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. The problem is, Gravekeepers are so generic, you guys. Like, there's no skill in building the deck. Like, you can add little hot text like Austin Kuhlman and Jonathan Weigel did. And, I mean, that's what I did. I added these 2 cards to the deck because they do make a big difference. Gale halves a monster. Guard bounces stuff back. They're good, but, some Gravekeeper decks don't even need them. Some Gravekeeper decks run 13 monsters, and I mean, you already know what you're going to see. I can hold them up with one hand what you're going to see. You're going to see these, and they're all multiple copies. The only one that's different is Assailant. So, at the end of the day, originality is out the door with decks like Gravekeeper, out the door with decks like Plant Tengu, and unfortunately, it's really sad for all the players that want to be original in this game. And the thing is you can't, be down on yourself for not being original. It's because of what you've seen online, what does win, and like if you look at the Tech Genis Skill Drain deck, it's not original, you guys. It's on the OCG's website now. If you look at it, it was out before Nationals even concluded in North America. So you see, once again, there's no originality whatsoever. It's not originality, it's how you play the deck that gives you your somewhat originality. That's what I honestly think. Like, I feel bad for players who say, oh, I didn't win because I didn't have warning, I didn't have stuff. And, sometimes that's true. Sometimes, you just drew bad, you have your reasons. But, at the end of the day, Konami set up this game so that the best players will be the ones that spend the most money. And that's like the most honest thing I can tell you guys. If you spend the money, you probably win more of your games. I mean, it sounds really bad. It sounds like, that all they're doing is trying to make money. And, most of the time that's what they're doing. And like I said, I feel bad for the players. But, with all these reprints coming out, there was talk of common Thunder King Ryo, common JD, common Gateway, common, everything. I'm hoping that they're finally going to make this metagame a lot more balanced, like the OCG is, because then we'll have some real events. Well, we won't have noobs and stuff making it to the top, or maybe they will, but they'll get knocked out. We'll have really good players going toe-to-toe with each other with the same caliber deck, same caliber playstyle, and it's really going to make for an interesting, game now. Now, I don't know if all these reprints are going to mean that a lot of cards are going to get hit on the list. I have no idea. I made my ban list predictions already, and, I'm not going to change them because I don't think much has changed. The only thing I'll change is that I don't think TCG exclusives are going to get banned or limited or anything. I think Recruiter's here to stay. I think Tengu's here to stay. Librarian will definitely go to 1, but I mean, other than that, I think we're going to keep a lot of our TCG exclusives. So X-Sabers will still be playable, which is really cool because I'm looking to build X-Sabers. But yeah, you guys, that's honestly all I have to say on this topic. At the end of the day, originality unfortunately is out the door, and I mean, to anyone who's still original in this game, you get a lot of props from me because it's really hard to stay original in this game. And whenever you think you have an original idea, someone else will come up with the same idea, add a couple things, and then they'll steal your idea. And I mean, that's how this game goes. So, like I said, at the end of the day, originality is out the door. But it's all down to how you play, and it's all down to your skill level, and that's what you can appreciate when you win a game. And, honestly, that's all I can think of, you guys. It's sad, but it's true how this game has gone. And, you do need key cards. You do need to invest in this game to be really successful. And for people, who have a hard time with this, I understand. I hope these reprints help you. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to a point where the meta is really balanced for everyone to play and everyone can enjoy it. Once again, thank you, Like Bernie. This was an excellent topic for me to cover, and I'm really happy someone sent me this idea on this video. So big shout out to you for this. I hope this helps people and people understand, exactly what we're going through in this game. So please, continue to rate, comment, subscribe. Like I said, I'm really trying to get to 300 subs by the end of this week. I'm getting closer and closer, and I appreciate all the support, all the love, all the everyone's coming to me for advice. Thank you so much. I try to get back to people as soon as I can. That's like the first thing I do when I hop on my computer. So thank you guys so much, and I'll continue to bring you as many videos and as much content as I possibly can. And yeah, hope this video helps you guys out. Thank you for watching.